Welcome back to Joystick and Mouse. My name is Don. I go by Diddy in the gaming world. With me tonight is Jay Dimes.
What's going on, peoples?
Not much, man, and it's just the two of us tonight. Our first night without Alex. It's a little
Yeah,
weird, isn't it?
yeah, he's over there chilling in Disney too.
Yeah, I'll bet you.
He's
I'm gonna be. I'll tell you what. I'll be sort of pissed at him if he builds another lightsaber.
Hey, you know what? One of my other buddies just came back from Disney, and he built another lightsaber. And he's built two custom ones. He's not even building like the character based ones. He's just like making his thing. So
That's cool. I could see maybe doing like if you did a light side one and then did a dark side one. That might be
yeah,
cool. I can understand doing that, but man, you have two of them and I only have
yeah.
one.
I mean,
That's
I
kind of
feel like
stinks.
though, when you go, you got to do it all. You got to do
Yeah,
everything. I'm gonna build a saber whenever I go. When I feel safe going to Florida.
that's the whole thing. Actually, we talk about that. Well, I think we might feel safer going to California to go go do it.
I mean, yeah, at least in California, like they're making you follow some rules. I don't know that they make you. I mean, I'm sure Disney in the park is enforcing some level of safety, but it's more, like if you're going off campus in Florida, I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I did
my
see
buddy
some
came back. It
things.
hasn't gotten sick yet. I think they've been back a week and a half, and he's still well. So
That's cool. I did see some things where like the character pick photos are a little different. Like you can't get close to them. You have to stand in front of them now, and they're roped off a little bit. Like you're taking
yeah, I don't
pictures with
blame him.
them and stuff like that. So, yeah,
I
I
don't
don't blame
blame him
them.
in the beat,
Not
least.
at all. All right, so I guess I told you guys over the this past week that Sony released their uh, custom covers for the PlayStation, for the PS5, and I could not resist. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. It was so. I was like, oh my god, it's been a week and a half, and it was just the last 2 weeks have just been horrendous. I had like over almost 112 hours in at work
Ooh,
in 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm done. I need some retail therapy. That's it. So I bought myself
are they
a
trying to work you into retirement?
nice man. So I bought the black covers to go on the PlayStation, and then I went out
Nice.
and bought a black controller to match.
Ah, have you gotten it yet?
I haven't get. Supposedly they're supposed to come tomorrow. I'll make sure that I send pictures and post them all up and let everybody see
It'll
what it
be
looks like.
interesting to see if there's some like some third party options that might come with like even more customization in like the color or like characters and whatnot on them.
I saw some third party ones on Amazon, and
Uh,
I wasn't too sure about them. I just was like, I don't know if but I know getting the ones from Sony, they'll be good quality, and I just
Listen,
wasn't sure
well,
about it.
so that's going to be the deal. Like people are going to have to get their hands on these originals, and then people will be able to like measure out precise specs
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
look at
that's
all the
true.
tabs
Yeah.
and stuff, and then you'll start getting like
Good quality
good
custom
custom.
ones.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, just like like Apple Watch bands. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you can go order a third party Apple Watch band, and it looks just as great as the stuff Apple's putting out at this point.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny. I started using these like cloth bands. They're like elastic. They were great.
Yeah. So is that similar to like the fabric sporty ones that Apple has?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
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 So
I
those are really
actually like
nice.
those.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very comfortable and works really well. And I can sweat in it because I had. And oh my god, I went down and did the elliptical tonight for first time in God knows how long. It was not pretty.
Hey, it's good for you. It's good for you. At least you're not like me. I'm over at the gym with a mask on, trying to run and walk on the treadmill, which is uh, cumbersome to say
Yeah,
the least.
I hear you, man. I hear
I'll
you.
be happy when it warms up and I can go do my cardio outside.
Yeah, we like outside. Till it gets too hot. In Northern Virginia, it's ugly.
Now I can't get too hot, but it's definitely too cold.
Alrighty, so to the show. There was only one real story this week in video game news, and that, of course, was the acquisition of Blizzard Activision by Microsoft for $69 billion freaking dollars. So we'll
Yeah,
talk about
it's
what this means
obscene.
for the gaming industry and what we hope comes from this purchase on this episode of Joystick and Mouse. So, damn, that's a lot of money. Holy hell. That
Yeah,
is a lot of moolah for a game company.
it's uh, it's it's a third of Jeff Bezos's net worth.
Yeah, I was stunned when I saw the news. I was like, "Oh, they bought it. Well, they probably bought it for about the same amount that they bought, or yeah, that they got Bethesda for." No, no, no,
Well,
no, no, no.
well, if you look at what they spent for Bethesda, I don't I don't think the price is terribly out of whack.
So yeah, I don't think it's out of whack. Well, so it's a lot of money.
It is
Um,
a lot of money. There's no getting around that.
but
It
I
was a
they did
buttload of money.
it was 100 and what they say 120% of valuation of the company, which of stock valuation. It's all stock. There's no there's
Yeah.
no real money taking. They're not buying anything. They're
Yeah.
they're taking. This is all stock. Um. So, but yeah, it was like 120% evaluation, which is not bad for a company, to buy another one. That's pretty
Well, especially
reasonable.
a company that for all intents and purposes we didn't believe was on the market.
Yeah, I think that's the big one is that, everybody was sort of like, well, everybody was stunned because nobody knew that Blizzard Activision was for sale. I
Right.
mean, this was like there was no hint, no inkling, no no anything before this, and especially as bad as the news had been about them, that anything like this was going to happen. And I wake up and I see this Blizzard Activision bought by Microsoft. And I'm like, what the hell?
It makes me wonder whether or not somewhere in between, the investigation by the California Department of Labor and then the federal Department of Labor, if maybe somebody said, "Hey, maybe you all should look at having someone acquire your company." Like, how bad must the mess have been for them to decide to sell?
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's save that for a little later on, because there's some other things that go along with that. But yeah, I I, I sort of agree with you, and I wonder if maybe it was the board after. Well, I'll save that thought. So let's talk about what Microsoft gets. What they got was, and I actually was surprised at this. So Activision Blizzard, it's those two game companies, Activision, Blizzard, and Zynga. Most people don't know that
Or
Activision
King?
King. Oh, I'm sorry, Zynga's the other one. They already own Zynga. um, King, which is Candy Crush, which is actually their largest
Yeah.
income generator
Those little 99
property.
cent clicks.
It is the single largest income generator IP in gaming. Candy Crush.
I've never played Candy Crush.
I've never spent money on Candy Crush. I've played it. I have it on
Nope,
my
I don't even think
phone.
I don't think I've ever
I think
downloaded.
I'm at level like it's like if I'm sitting waiting on Beck for something or something,
I'll
I'll
blame it
I'll
on Beck.
I'll pull it out, or I'm waiting at for something to start. I'll do three levels or something like that. But yeah, I've never spent any money on it. Simpsons Tapped Out, different story. Spend money on Simpsons Tapped Out. uh, but the IPs that they get, and this killed me. So I'll just run down the list here real quick. Blur, which I have no idea what the hell it is.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know what that one is either.
Caesar, that's an old game. I don't think I've ever played anymore. Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, DJ Hero, Empire Earth, Gabriel Knight, Geometry Wars, Guitar Hero, Gun. You guys remember Gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, Hexen, Interstate 76, great racing game. King's Quest, Laura Bow, Lost Vikings, Overwatch, Phantasmagoria, Pitfall, Police Quest, Prototype, Quest for Glory, Singularity, Skylanders, Soldier of Fortune, Space Quest, Spyro the Dragon, StarCraft, Tenchu. Never heard of it.
I think I've heard of that one.
Time Shift, Tony Hawk, True Crime, World of Warcraft, and my personal favorite. I am so psyched. I am so hoping that they do something with this. Zork. I love Zork.
Zork? I'm
So
not familiar with that one either.
so everybody we all talk about our first foray into gaming, right? My
Hmm.
first foray into gaming was a program on a Vax called Adventure, which was the prelude to Zork. It was a text-based game, and it was the twisty, tiny passages. You go left, you're eaten by a grue. That whole game was my very first foray into gaming. Back in when we were in long time ago. Uh, we had a Vax in the at work, and we would stay after hours and play Adventure. And we drew out, and you probably before your time, we drew out the big map on a piece of graph paper, and going north went to this place, but if you went south, you didn't go back to that place. It was brutal. It was just an amazing game. Um, so I'm really hoping that they do something with Zork. They tried to bring it back a couple of times, and it's never quite taken hold, and it's never really been brought back well. But I'm hoping they do something with Zork. So I think that would be fun. So which one of those are you looking for? Like maybe a resurrection or a?
Um, I tell you what, I hope they do something with Guitar Hero.
Yep.
Um, and I hope we get back to a version of Call of Duty that has a worthwhile story attached to
Yeah. Yeah.
it. And I look forward to not having to pay for Call of Duty every year.
Yeah.
Like, yo, go ahead and drop that on Game
It's
Pass. Let me
funny
get all the old
because
ones on Game Pass. Let me get all the old ones on Game Pass right now.
yeah, because there are a lot of these games that Microsoft has said these games are coming to Game Pass. For sure. Phil talked about uh, Hearthstone, Overwatch, and Call of Duty are absolutely coming to Game Pass.
Listen, good. They also need to do an Overwatch 2.
Well, Overwatch too, whenever it comes, if it ever comes out. Well,
Go ahead
whenever.
and get on that. Um,
The
and
other,
I expect the price of Game Pass to go up.
I'm expecting a Game Pass price increase too. I'm thinking that some point in time this year they're gonna raise the
Well,
price
I
by
don't think they
$5
can
a
raise
month.
the price until they actually start offering the content, right? If they can raise the price, if they're going to work a deal with them that the content is going to show up before the merger actually goes through or the
You think they
acquisition
have to
goes through.
wait until the merger goes before they raise the
Well,
price?
I mean, listen, I'm not here for raising the price for things that have not, like right now, what would be their justification for charging me more?
Just inflation. Just cost them more to
Nah,
do it.
nah, nah. I think they gotta wait until everything's signed off on. Now, if they tell me that they're gonna go ahead and bring COD over, then they can raise the price. If they tell me that, World of Warcraft, the subscription is now included with Game Pass Ultimate,
If they do that, they can raise the price. That's
then they can raise the price.
yeah.
Now,
I'm all
I
in.
will I will be a little irked because I don't play WoW and I don't plan to. So like I'm gonna be paying a little extra for something that I have no use for. But I'll get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's of such a value right now that I think when they add this new content, they could justify 10, $15 extra a month. Hey, they could justify doubling the price almost.
See, I think if they, so this is a huge discussion in the World of Warcraft arena, online community right now is it going to Game Pass because of this subscription service? I think they'll do it just because they'll get World of Warcraft in front of so many more people.
No, I don't think they're going to add it in base price. I think what they'll do is it'll be Game Pass plus WoW, and the subscription for WoW
Is included.
will be cheaper
I That'd be fine.
included with Game Pass than it would be if you just got WoW on its own.
I'd be fine with that. I think that would be I'd be fine with that.
Now listen, they could shock me and say, "All right, we're going to include WoW in the Game Pass subscription." But I think if they do that, then justifiably they have to raise the price.
Yeah, and honestly, let's face it, World of Warcraft is a 16-year-old game. I mean, yes,
Yeah, but they're always adding new content.
a lot of people are still playing it. I mean, it's still got a couple of million subscribers, which is just amazing. It's just incredible that it still has that kind of following after that long a time. But I, I think in some way, shape, or form, it will come to Game Pass.
Hey, I'm not against it. I'm not against it.
The other one I'm really looking for is I hope they do something with King's Quest and Police Quest. Those point and click games were so much fun, and King's Quest was some of the very first games I ever played on a computer. That, along with Leisure Suit Larry, those point and click adventures were so much fun. They have such rich worlds that they could build games in that I'm hoping they bring those back in some shape or form. You mentioned the other one which was Guitar Hero. I think they could probably do something with that, maybe in a VR realm.
Also, did you mention Diablo?
Diablo's in there too. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they like if it is a game that you play online,
Yeah.
Microsoft pretty much owns it.
Yep. Yeah.
Um Now here's the big question. This is the $1 million question. And this might go into our next question. This might transition us to our next question. What does Microsoft keep and what do they share?
So what do they keep for themselves?
Right.
That's a really good question.
Because I
That's
think they should be assholes. Like I think they spent $70 billion, and as altruistic as Phil Spencer says he is, you got to get that money back.
you got to get that money back. There are certain things that they are legally bound to do. Blizzard Activision has agreements with Sony and Nintendo and whoever else about certain games that have to be available on their platforms. They've said, like, Call of Duty is one. Call of Duty has to be available on the other platforms because of contracts that they already have in place. I think Overwatch is another one that has to be on other platforms. But other than that,
But you also have to wonder, well, how long are those agreements?
but when those agreements run out, I'm with you. But I think Microsoft will just say, you know what, Sony, you have God of War, but you know what? We've got Call of Duty.
Now, there are a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but there are a fair amount of industry folks. I've listened to their takes over the last week, and there seems to be a lot of folks that think Warzone will stay cross-platform, but the full games will become exclusives.
I would believe that. I can see that. They got to sell that Xbox. Well, okay, so they don't have to sell the Xbox, right? They got to
They
sell the
need to sell
subscription
Game Pass.
service. They got to
Yeah,
sell Game Pass.
right.
That's their bread and butter. They have to sell
I don't
that.
think they
So,
care if, like, we've said this. Microsoft, I don't think cares whether you buy an Xbox or whether you use a PC.
yeah, I don't think they
They
care
just
either.
want you to buy the subscription.
Yep. They want their $15 a month,
Yep.
and after that, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's about the Xbox. It's about the subscription, and if they can charge, oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what it is. I pay for it for the year, so. But what is Game Pass Ultimate a
I
month?
pay by the month, and it's 15 a month
It's a 15
for
still.
Ultimate.
Is it still 15?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, at $15 a month, so $15 a month is probably that sweet spot, right? It's low enough that people are like, yeah, and but it's high enough for them to be make good income off of it. It's sort of in that sweet spot. You keep it under $20, and I think people will just leave it. It's not something that they're going to go and cancel from month to month because you get good value out of it.
I mean, here's this. This is I'm looking. I was looking at the pricing just to verify that what I was saying is right. So if you go Game Pass for console or for PC, just one of those, like you don't get both, you get one or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's $9.99 a month,
That's
right?
a hell of a deal.
Yeah. And for PC, it includes EA Play. For console, you don't get EA Play until you get to Ultimate.
Hmm.
And then you're paying $14.99 a month, but you are getting the
But you
Game
get
Pass for the console and the PC. You get gold and you're getting EA Play for $15 a month.
yeah, that's a great deal.
You can't beat it. Listen, if Microsoft comes out and says that they've worked a deal with Ubisoft to get a fat discount on the Ubisoft service included in Ultimate, people would be foolish not to buy
Oh, I
this.
think that would be a great deal. Where's the price point where that works for everybody though? I mean,
20 bucks.
does it work at does it work at 25?
Maybe. How much is the Ubisoft service?
15?
Is it 15 on its own?
15.99. Yep.
I don't know about 25. 25, I might say they can keep it. I don't know if Ubisoft has enough games to make that I don't already own
Well, yeah, the problem is I buy
to
them when they
make
come
it
out
to make
because
it worth it. Maybe like when Division 3 gets announced,
so they have
that might make it work.
the two big ones that I really enjoy. Right, they have the Division, which I didn't play before this last one, and I really enjoyed the last one, and they have Far Cry, which is one of my
Yeah, yeah, fuck
favorite
yeah.
franchises. So, I mean, is that enough to spend $10 a month on it? Because what was the other one that just came out not too long ago? Legions, Watch Dogs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one wasn't that good. It
No,
was
no.
not good. So
I think the idea for Microsoft might be to see how much content they can shove into a 25 to $30 wrapper.
I think $25 is probably the spot. If they can wrap another service, let's even say you get the games and they get them 30 days after launch.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're,
yeah,
we're gonna roll 30 Ubisoft Plus and and the World of Warcraft subscription stuff in, but you get them 30 days after launch. All right, I'll do that.
yeah, yeah. One of my good friends at home, he bought a Series S for his son for Christmas, and he was like this Game Pass is the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah, there's
Like
so many games.
like how does someone buy a console and not buy the pass?
I know.
Like I don't know, dude.
It's worth it for
I don't know.
Minecraft. It's whatever they charge for it. There are people that spend hours and hours and hours and hours building shit in Minecraft. It's amazing the stuff that gets built in there, all included in Game Pass. It's it's just a great deal. I Sony had to be shitting themselves though. Had to,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
can't imagine waking up and hearing that your competitor has purchased probably the largest third-party supplier of content.
yeah. Although I did read Sony's still bigger than Xbox. They're still it's uh 10 cent, I think. Sony and
Yeah,
then
it's 10 to
Microsoft.
something. And I read that. I don't quite understand how that's possible. I don't know what I don't know how they I don't know how they gauge those numbers.
I don't either, other than they sell an awful lot of games
Yeah, maybe.
because they have a lot of exclusive titles. The
Hey,
problem
here's
is,
something oddly normal one. Our buddy Audie over here said, I'm still amazed this announcement had almost no leaks at all. Yeah,
I
listen, this might have been the best kept secret next to Chadwick Boseman being ill. Like
yeah,
you like I hadn't heard this at all. Like we woke up in the morning and saw it, and I thought what we saw that morning was the leak, not the official announcement. Like we got through all of these conversations
yeah,
and nobody talked.
I I know. Yeah,
Nobody?
yeah,
Man, listen.
I was just shocked. Well, I think that's part of the thing, right? The whole world was shocked that this just dropped.
Yeah, like who did these negotiations?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it
I
what
think
is
it
it?
may.
Three people can keep a secret if two of you are dead?
Yeah, true.
So
Yes.
can two people keep a secret with one of them being alive? I don't listen. This is the only way that this makes sense to me. The conversation must have been solely between Phil and Bobby. And no, that doesn't
It
even work
it
either.
couldn't have been.
Because if it's only the two of them, there's nobody to put the stick if it leaks. They must have
Yeah.
threatened to take everybody's compensation if this
Yeah,
leaked.
the only way it happened was they threatened people and said, if you leak this, you get nothing.
Right.
You get nothing.
I mean, and you can't spend 70 billion, like Phil can't spend $70 billion. He doesn't
Not
have that
even
type of
Phil can.
clout.
Not even Phil can spend
No, he
70
doesn't have
billion.
$70 billion. Um, I mean, up into this, like I don't remember what his title was prior to this merger. Like now he's CEO of Microsoft Games, which is funny to me because he's CEO of Microsoft. Does this mean that they're spinning Microsoft Games off of Microsoft, the software company? Because the
No,
guy Satya, is that
he's
his name?
still he's still
But
reports to
he's a
Satya.
CEO. He
Yes,
does he?
yes, yeah.
Well, you can't have two CEOs.
Sure, you can. You can have 30 CEOs. Have you?
No, I mean, okay, if you think of like corporate structure, right? You can have you can have a president, a CEO, right? And you can have like multiple vice presidents of something. But I've never seen a company with two CEOs in the management structure.
It's probably title only, but
I
it's
don't I mean, see,
but
chief
he's
chief
CEO of
executive
Microsoft.
officer.
Did you watch the Microsoft backstory to Xbox?
No.
I I went so think about this. Microsoft just spent $70 billion on a game company. 15 years ago, they had to beg people. They had to beg people and covertly build the Xbox inside of Microsoft because they were a software operating system company. They did not want to get into games. That's amazing. That is just amazing. 15 years later, they're paying $70 billion for
Yeah.
a game company.
Yeah.
It's just if you guys out there, if you have not seen that, go watch it. It's fantastic about how the Xbox came to be.
Hey, here's another property that we didn't talk about. I think everybody's forgotten about. Skylanders.
Yeah, I got a lot of so I've always loved these um physical toy to game properties. I had
Yeah.
I have tons of Disney Infinity. I have tons of the
I'm
Lego.
still bitter about how Disney Infinity worked out.
Yeah, I have tons of the Lego um stuff from Dimensions. Um, I I have tons of Skylanders. I love those things. I think so. As a person that likes to collect shit, I that's just like right up my alley. Here, take my money, but so I love those games, and I still have tons of it, and and I know that Phil has said we want to bring that back. It was a potential that wasn't tapped correctly, and so I'm hoping that they bring back Skylanders because it was a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
I got all the ships and characters and stuff downstairs, just waiting for it to come back.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. I mean, they have
No, no,
so
not
much
no
property.
thumbs down.
Who
Mrs.
gave thumbs
Mrs.
down?
Diddy was given the thumbs down.
No thumbs down.
No thumbs
She just
down.
doesn't want you bringing any more
She
stuff
doesn't
into
want
her
me
house.
bringing any more shit in the house.
That's what it is. She's like, you're gonna have to buy me a bigger house if you keep this up.
Oh man. All right, so the elephant in the room, though, about all this is Activision Blizzard has his big ass lawsuit hanging over its head.
Yeah.
Um, and so what does this mean? Well, okay, so here's the first thing. yes, Bobby Kotick is gone. Not immediate.
eventually.
Not immediately. They can't. They sort of can't get rid of him immediately. They just can't come in and say you're
Yeah.
gone, go away.
Have you seen what his golden parachute is?
Yes, it's ridiculous, but for a CEO at that level in the United States, it actually isn't that much.
No, but I guess what drives me insane is that for all of the trouble and bullshit that he has dropped upon this company that he is in charge of, he's
He's
still gonna walk away
what's about
with
three
a
hundred
couple
fifty
hundred
million
million
dollars.
dollars.
About $350 million. Yeah, I, I
Now,
I agree with
now
you.
he may pay some fines. They're gonna have to get through these the federal lawsuit and the state lawsuit. There could be fines and penalties that are assessed both at the company level and at the CEO level.
Yeah,
But it drives me insane that the company is going to have to cut that that check when he goes.
yeah, but so Activision Blizzard is a $1 billion company. I mean, they make billions of dollars every
Yeah,
year. Okay, so for him to have a $350 million golden parachute is not unheard of. I know that at my company, and I think at your company too, the severance packages are fairly significant for our CEOs. Um, so yes, to us, to the normal worker bee people, it's a lot of money. On that level, it's still a lot of money, but it's not out of line with a company that size. Um, do I think he should get it? No, because he's a
no,
complete
he
and
shouldn't
utter
get
jerk.
it.
But
No, he shouldn't get it.
I think I I would think the lawyers for Microsoft would be able to find a morals clause in his contract somewhere to tell him to go take a hike.
Man, I guarantee you there ain't no clause in these contracts.
Yeah,
There should be.
there should be.
There should be.
There
I
should be,
think
but
the only hope for that for the compensation is that he gets some sort of stiff penalty and fine from the Department of Labor.
we can only hope that the Department of Labor gives him a nice fine, like
Nice kick in
maybe
the ass.
$350 million worth. Worth
Yep.
just well.
Forfeit it all.
Yeah.
I am interested in whether or not Microsoft would have to shell out any additional money for any settlements as a part of these lawsuits.
I thought. Well,
I hope they wrote
yes.
I hope they wrote good language like, listen, this
I
is what we're giving you. Y'all are in charge of spending whatever you need to spend to get rid of these issues.
Well, I think what I read was Microsoft, because it's a stock deal and not a cash deal. Microsoft is on the hook for whatever happens with the lawsuit.
Ugh. Ugh. Then
So
listen, well, I mean, here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, there's no way the fine fallout from these lawsuits is more than $500 million. And in the grand scheme of 70 billion, an extra 500 million is probably not that big of a deal.
probably not. Unfortunately. Here's the thing that
Unfortunately.
I think it does do though. So there's a huge movement within Blizzard right now. As a matter of fact, I think one of their studios, their QA department, did unionize. I think the movement to unionize within Activision Blizzard might be severely hampered by this because people are going to
Oh
look
yeah.
at this and say Microsoft's going to come in and clean this shit up because I can guarantee you if Microsoft is in charge, this will not happen.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know people that work at Microsoft. This will
I
not happen there.
I it is an oddity to me that in a company that large that a culture like what they have has been allowed to permeate for so long.
When
Um, you just don't see it out of companies that large.
when the inmates are running the asylum, this is what
Yeah,
happens.
I guess.
It was the frat boys running the company,
Well, yeah,
unfortunately.
you're right. Um, and we're just gonna hope that they get right now.
Yep. Well, I think this is a huge plus in the let's clean it up
Yeah,
because I
drain the swamp.
like I said, I know people that work at Microsoft, not just the person that abandoned this podcast, and and this would not fly. The culture that was at Blizzard will not fly in that company.
No, no.
Um,
Um, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see what they do post Bobby Kotick, um, to rectify the situation and how much goodwill or benefit of the doubt the employees give Microsoft coming in, that they're going to try to fix it.
yeah, I would love to hear from some employees of Blizzard. I've been watching Twitter and I haven't really seen anything specific from anybody at Blizzard um, about this, about how they feel about it and what it means. I mean, when the deal closes, Bobby Kotick is gone. They've already said once the deal closes, he's out. So that's got to be heartening
Well,
in and of itself to them.
here's another thing, right? This is another thing that concerns me about that. This thing could take 12 to 18 months to close.
Well, they said June of 23.
So this dude's going to be allowed to continue screwing up a company for another year and some change.
Yeah. Yeah, but Microsoft is going to be overseeing the ship too. It's not like
But are they can't be. They don't own them yet.
they don't, but they will have a lot of influence. So, as a person that just went through a company takeover, um, the company that you're going to has a lot of say in what happens, in what's going on,
Well,
and it doesn't happen all at once, right? Your time seat system moves over, and then your benefits start to move over, and then you start to go to a different site for this or that. I'm sure that's the way it'll be.
I hope they get this thing in order because I think it's very dangerous. Uh, and I'll be honest with you. I also am not sure that I believe that he's going to be there until it's over.
I don't think he'll be there till it's over, till it
I
closes.
think I think I think there is a possibility that was lip service to shareholders so that the price of the stock didn't plummet the day that the announcement was made.
That's
And I
probably
would not
true.
be surprised if even as of today he's not really running the show.
That wouldn't surprise me either.
And I hope
Uh,
I hope that that's true as
I
opposed
agree.
to
I got a real good candidate though for head of Activision Blizzard,
oh,
Jen O'Neill.
I don't know that
She's the
person.
person that was co.
Oh, you think she's coming back?
They should bring her back. They should give her whatever the hell she wants. They should just back the Brinks truck up and say, "What would you like? It's yours." You want to talk about the best PR move they could possibly do?
I got another one that might work.
Sure, hit me with it.
Jade Raymond.
Well, yeah, that'd be a good one too.
Now I
Yeah,
know she's got a sword in the fire that working with a studio
I was
that
gonna. She
Sony's
started
investing
her
in.
new studio, right?
Yeah, but
But if
ooh,
Microsoft comes along and says, "How would you like to lead Activision Blizzard?"
yeah.
I mean,
Who says no to that?
yeah, yeah, right. Especially with Microsoft's backing, who says no to that?
Yeah. You know this it's also very telling. There's not a lot of female executive leadership in gaming to even say like, "Oh, this person would be a good fit." Um Now, that being said, there's some other folks at Microsoft that
There's
they might move over
there are some
and say,
folks at
"Hey,
Microsoft in the Xbox world that they could bring in, but I'm hoping
that they find somebody in house over there and elevate."
I'm hoping that they find somebody in the house. I'm hoping they pick a woman.
You know, this is the problem that I think you run into with elevating somebody is that part of the process here is to convert the culture. And I think it's a hard task to promote somebody from inside where they then have to learn their job and also um,
That's true. Yeah,
be the conduit to bringing in a brand new culture. Maybe they go with another co
yeah.
CEO and
Maybe
you
one.
elevate somebody from Blizzard and you bring in somebody from Microsoft and
That's a really good point. Yeah, maybe one from both sides and say, all right, guys, here, have at it.
that, or it has to be it ends up being a situation where maybe they do promote somebody from inside and Phil has to be very hands-on um in his management of that division to start.
So I would have to look at their portfolio right now. Is Activision Blizzard their biggest IP?
Microsoft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
guess
can't
with
think of
Call of
anything that's
Duty it would
bigger.
be. Yeah, well, I guess with
Yeah.
Call of Duty it would have to be.
Hey, here's a question for you. What do you think happens with BlizzCon? Do you think they still keep doing BlizzCon?
I do not think there's another BlizzCon.
Really?
I think we've seen the last of it because that was a corporate event. That was a corporate event to promote their games and their IPs.
You know, here's something that I think we overlook. As much as Microsoft is going to want to put their culture this on these companies, I think you always have to keep a little something from what you took. And in previous acquisitions, it has not been Microsoft's MO to kind of push their culture. They've kind of let companies be themselves. But this company is got issues. They got to do
Yeah,
something different. But I think BlizzCon could be something that sticks around. Maybe it's BlizzCon and maybe they use it also to talk about other Microsoft games. But I think when you've got an engaged audience that's willing to spend money, I think you take the money.
maybe. So part of the charm of BlizzCon was that it was just about Blizzard,
Yeah.
right? It was that was part of the charm of it. I maybe they take that lesson though and do an Xbox themed.
XCon. Hey, listen, I would go to Vegas. If they did something like BlizzCon, but was Microsoft like Xbox focused,
Uh huh.
I'd go to that.
I would too. That'd be
Like
fun.
if I was gonna hear big gears, big Halo,
And you're gonna get, they use that as their E3, right? They use that as their
Yeah.
platform to announce games and stuff.
Oh yeah,
So
that could be
that would
great.
be awesome, especially
Let's
with
get this COVID out of here, and we can have XCon.
yeah. I'm all for. I think that would be fantastic. Hey, Phil, let's listen up.
Phil, listen,
Listen,
listen.
if I got a deal for you.
Joystick and Mouse, the official podcast of XCon.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. All right. Well, I think that's a show. We are through all the stuff. I do not have a game. Do you have a game review?
I don't.
I I
But
just started playing Far Cry 6. I've been working so much I've barely had a chance to play it. So,
I want to start playing that new Rainbow Six.
oh
So if you
yeah.
if you got a desire to play that, and then I plan on starting Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, because I've never played any of those games, but
Oh,
now that it's on Game Pass,
I'll be really itching to hear your thoughts on that.
so that won't be like a new game review. But I also I sold my Space Jam Xbox controller, so hopefully I'm gonna make way for a Series 2
Oh yeah.
Elite. Yeah,
Cool. Cool.
I would have had too many controllers if I didn't get rid of something. Because I also bought that 20th anniversary Xbox controller.
Actually, I bought I got the Elite from Alex, so I was, even though he abandoned us.
He
Um,
abandoned us. I think he still loves us, though.
he still
I
loves
think
us.
he still loves us.
He still loves us. All right. Well, I'm sorry I didn't mention this up at the top. This is episode 131. First one without Alex. And it is January 24th, 2022. You can catch us over at joystickandmouse.com. You can get great t-shirts like this over at shop.joystickandmouse.com.
I need to get a t-shirt. I need to get a t-shirt.
You can follow me at Diddy Does Games. You can follow J Dimes at J Dimes. And with that, we're out. Tim?
Take it easy.
And we'll see you later, folks. Have fun.